And now the news for the East Midlands. I'm Angelina Socci. Police in Nottinghamshire searching for a man who fell into the River Trent have found a body. It was discovered under a bridge at Dunham. A river search began at the scene on Wednesday after a 40-year-old man fell from a boat. It's thought he was trying to help his father free it from a mud bank. The emergency services were called to East Midlands Airport after a cargo plane had to land shortly after taking off. Ambulances were called at about 5 o'clock this morning. Officials at the airport say they were following a standard procedure and the services were not required. It's thought the plane may have struck a bird. Meanwhile, minor technical faults are being blamed for delays and cancellations affecting some BMI baby flights this week between East Midlands and Scotland. BMI Baby say they recognise rescheduling does inconvenience passengers, but they've tried to minimise disruption and alternative flights or refunds were offered. 3 people believed to be teenagers are being treated in hospital after what the police describe as an incident involving a knife. Officers were called to Harrison Road in the Belgrave area of Leicester yesterday afternoon. A police spokesman said it's not clear if all 3 people had suffered stab wounds and the injuries are not thought to be life-threatening. People living in one area of Derby have been left wondering why new lampposts have been put up in the middle of the pavement. The new street lamps have been erected on Mansfield Road in Chester Green. It's all part of a 4-month programme to improve the quality of lighting and meet current European standards. But not everyone's convinced that they've been positioned in the right place.
Well, it's a bit silly really, putting them in the middle of the pavement because people can walk in, so if you're pushing a pushchair then it's a bit of an obstacle, isn't it? So needs thinking out properly, really.
For security reasons, we think it's a good idea. It makes the street a lot brighter, so I think that's good for antisocial behaviour.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to stick them in the middle of the pavement, you know. They are a nuisance, having to walk round them and all things like that.
Thousands of people lined the streets of Leicester today to watch the city's annual Caribbean Carnival. The event, which included a parade, floats and colourful costumes, is now one of the biggest Caribbean festivals outside London. The carnival has been held in the city since 1985, although 2 years ago it was cancelled because of a lack of funds. Organisers say it's now stronger than ever. A charity duck race on the River Trent in Nottingham will go ahead tomorrow after a last-minute agreement to save it. The annual charity event is part of the Riverside Festival, which is on all this weekend. The suspension bridge along the Victoria embankment is the usual starting point for the race, but it's currently closed for repairs. Now the owners of a pleasure cruiser have agreed to launch the thousands of plastic ducks. Among the many attractions at the event is the BBC bus, where you can find out more about BBC digital TV and radio services. Police searching for a 3-year-old boy abducted from foster care by his mum now believe they're still in the Mansfield area. Amy Bird took Lewis Williamson during a visit supervised by a social worker. The police say she slipped out of a changing room at a swimming pool in their hometown of Mansfield. They had thought she'd taken him to the East Coast with his father, but that's now been ruled out. In sport, our local football teams have been gearing up for the new season next weekend. The Forest Notts derby ended 3-2 for the visitors. Derby County drew 2-2 against FC Utrecht, and it was 1-1 in Leicester City's friendly at Crystal Palace. And we'll have the pick of the action from those games on East Midlands Today on Monday. And all 3 cricket matches, those involving Notts, Derbyshire v Northants and Leicestershire, ended as draws. Notts remain 10 points clear at the top of Division 1. Let's take a look at the weather now. Here's Des.
Well, thanks for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. An afternoon where we've had a couple of festivals, the Derby Caribbean Festival and the Riverside Festival. We had some showers, didn't we, creeping across us, caused by these clouds here. But it didn't spoil what I'm sure is a wonderful afternoon for you. Going into tonight, we've got some late summer sunshine, and then we get the cloud creeping over. And that cloud is going to bring us some scatterings of showers, unfortunately. 14 degrees, as you can see. Wind speeds gusting up to around 20 miles an hour tonight. It's going to be a cool night. We've got rid of all that humid air that we've experienced over the past few nights. Waking up on Sunday, cloudy conditions, scattering of showers again. Some of them could be thundery. Temperatures rising up to an average of 21 degrees with blustery winds. Take care of yourselves.
And that's all from the Saturday team. We're back tomorrow evening at 10 to 7. Until then, have a great weekend.